We've all seen those side hustle videos promising thousands in passive income with 3 easy steps. But let's be honest, most require skills you don't have, money you can't risk, or so much time that you might as well get a second job. What if there was another approach? I've researched dozens of realistic side income methods that regular people are using right now. Not fantasy schemes, but practical approaches that are consistently generating around $500 every month. And in this video, I'm breaking down 10 proven methods that require minimal skills, little to no startup costs, and can be done in your spare time. And stick around for number 7. It's the one that most people overlook, yet has the highest success rate for beginners. Hey, real quick, my name is Jim Shirley, and I help people with getting started online, making digital products, creating content, and starting to make money. Okay, let's jump right into the first option here. The first one is freelancing with AI. Remember when writing was considered like a specialized skill? Well, those days are over. With AI tools like ChatGPT, you can now offer professional writing services doing like blog posts, product descriptions, and even social media content without having tons of experience worrying about spelling or any of that stuff. Small businesses are paying $50, $100, $200, even $300 a month to have people create content for them. Here's what most people miss. Businesses don't really care how the content gets created. They just want results. And with AI, you can deliver those results faster than ever before. All you need is a free ChatGPT account and the ability to follow these simple prompts. But before you rush off to start your AI writing business, you're going to want to hear about number 2, which requires even less technical knowledge. Okay, number 2 is where we resell free Facebook marketplace finds. And there's even a cool trick that I'm going to reveal inside of method number 2, which isn't using the free finds, it's using your own ingenuity. This opportunity is hiding right in plain sight, okay? Every day, people give away perfectly good items on Facebook Marketplace, things like furniture, electronics, exercise equipment, and they have to do it because they're in a hurry, right? They're ready to move. They have to get their stuff out of their place. They just need the stuff gone quickly, all right? The disconnect is fascinating because what's worthless to somebody who's in a hurry and just needs to get rid of this stuff can really become valuable when you've just got a little patience and maybe a place to store the thing for a couple of days, write up a good ad for the Facebook Marketplace, and get it posted for a reasonable price, right? The key with these is acting fast. So like, let's look right now on Facebook Marketplace at free stuff, okay? I just did a search. You can also filter down to like around where you live so you don't have to drive super far, but obviously the bigger you make that range of places to look, the more stuff you're going to find, okay? So right off the bat here, the thing that I see that stands out to me is this bike. Furniture like this big credenza. Now those things don't move very fast, so you might want to get that, but it's going to be a lot to store and carry and you may not sell it very fast. So anyway, this isn't a lesson in like what sells and what doesn't, but I just wanted to show you what's possible. Let me show this to you. All right, so what this person does is basically just take a bunch of 2x4s and 1x2s, and he probably has a miter saw, a bunch of screws, a drill, and a tape measure, and he basically just creates these little storage container holding systems. So take a look at this, like 2x4s, it's all just drilled together, put some wheels on it, and then the containers just slide right in. Pretty slick, right? And he's selling these things for anywhere from like $100 to $300, depending on whether the totes are included or not and the size of the system that people want. So there's a top secret one for you that you can actually just create and sell on Facebook Marketplace. So the sky is the limit with these little things, right? And speaking of things that you already have access to, method number 3 might be sitting empty right now in your home. So check this out, and that is renting out space, like a room, your driveway, a space in your garage, space in your yard, something like that. Now you might be thinking, I don't want strangers in or around my house, but here's the opportunity most people miss. You don't have to rent out. your entire home or even a bedroom. People are making $200 a month renting out their driveway or the space in front of their house to commuters who work nearby and are trying to save on parking costs. Others rent their garages for storage through apps like Spacer, and they do this for $50, $100, $150 a month for space that was basically just sitting empty anyway. There's actually a guy down the road from me who has a couple of acres of land, and he rents out 6 or 8 spaces on the side of the land for people to park their RVs and store them. So right on the property, and he probably charges $60 to $80 a month for those slots. And if you're comfortable with renting out a room or even your whole home while you're out of town on Airbnb, you can easily rent that stuff out for a couple of weekends a month. The beauty here is that when it's your property and your space, then you can rent this stuff out for a monthly basis for total passive income. And once these are set up, those payments just keep coming in. So that's always lovely, right? Well, what if you don't have extra space? Well, that's where method number 4 comes in, which you can do entirely from your laptop. Method number 4 is creating simple print-on-demand products and designs. Okay, but you may be thinking, hey, I'm not artistic. Listen, I'm not either, but you can use apps like Canva to easily create designs. That's exactly what makes this opportunity so often overlooked, is people think they have to have some sort of artistic capability or something like that, or buy thousands of shirts and print them. You don't have to. You can do all of this stuff online. You get a design from Canva, you put it on a shirt in Printify, and then you basically can set up a store where you never even interact. You just have the picture of the design and how it's going to look on your Shopify store. People order it, Printify fulfills it, and the whole thing works pretty seamlessly. All right, using Canva's templates and focusing on one specific niche, like for instance dog breeds or some kind of profession or hobby, is what works best. You can even just use words, stuff like I'd rather be with my golden retriever or world's best pediatric nurse. The more specific you get and niche down you get with these things, the better. The secret here is just being real specific, real niche down. General designs won't sell well, but if you target a specific group, well, they won't be able to resist. So you can list these things on your own Shopify store. You can put these on Etsy. You can just connect it, like I said, with Printify, and you never even have to touch the inventory. Or another thing that you can do is basically sell them at local farmers markets and different events that are happening like in person. So that's an easy and fun way to make some extra money on the weekends. Now, if you enjoy the treasure hunt aspect of making money, then you're going to love number 5. Number 5 is basically flipping clearance or like thrift store finds. This method turns your regular shopping trips into potential profit. Now, they actually make apps that help with this. So you get an app on your phone that allows you to basically scan the UPC code on items when you're at Walmart, Target, Big Five, wherever, thrift stores, and you scan it, then it tells you basically what the thing is worth. The opportunity exists here because there's just this information asymmetry, right? There's a disconnect between sometimes like what's for sale in one market or in one place and what's for sale more broadly in other places. And so you just capitalize on that, okay? I'll give you an example of a time I did this. I was at Target in the clearance section, and they had a bunch of Wi-Fi routers for sale in clearance. Okay, they were just cleaning house and basically had 4 of these brand new routers. These weren't even like open box. These were just brand new. They had them for $7.99 a piece. Okay, so I bought all of them. There were 4 or 5 of them. Now, I didn't have any kind of app. I didn't scan anything. I didn't know routers super well, but I knew them well enough to know that they don't sell for $8 usually. So I looked them up on Amazon. They were selling for something like $80. And so I bought all of them that they had there in clearance. So I opened up a little Facebook Marketplace ad, free ad, didn't have to pay for anything, just posted these things. And I posted them for $40. Or if you're willing to buy more, then I'd give you like a bulk discount. Okay, so the first person who responded bought 2 of them for $70. So right away, I had already made $30 in profit and I hadn't even sold all of them yet. And those things are out there all the time. Many people just start with one flip. So in that case, I had to part ways with $30 or $40 to get those initially, right? And then right away, I had already made that back. A lot of people start doing this with just one flip and they just take the profits from that, reinvest into the next clearance item that they can find, the next thrift item that they know they can flip. And they just keep scaling from there until they hit their goals. Some weeks are better than others, I will say. Sometimes there's just treasure out there on one day and then you can go for a couple weeks and not find anything. But the one thing I will say is the trick is not to get greedy. I see people all over Facebook Marketplace selling stuff for a lot more than they really should be asking, especially with like electronics and stuff like that. Like here's a lawnmower, $170. That may be a good price, but that's also a lot to put out there for something that you don't know whether it's broken, there's not going to be a warranty or anything like that. Like, why on earth would I pay $470 for, somebody's used Mac Mini M4 here, which is kind of the low grade one, when I can go over to Micro Center and get the same thing for $499, right? And I have some warranty there. I know it's brand new in the box. So keep in mind that in this line of work, you just want to keep things moving. All of your profit comes from how much you pay for the products that you find to flip. All right. So I hope that makes sense. It's just like buying stocks and bonds and stuff like that. So if you buy it at the right price, then you'll be able to flip it for a good price. All right. If technology is more your thing, then method number 6 might be the perfect fit for your skills. Method number 6 is to become a local AI helper. This opportunity exists because there's a huge technology gap out there. Local businesses are hearing about AI, but they have no idea how to implement it into their business, and that's where you come in. For example, you can help real estate agents set up a ChatGPT just to help them write property descriptions. You could either do that for them, or you could even set up an AI agent to do that, okay? You could show business consultants how to use AI into their business to help write things like business plans and client reports. And then you can even do things like use the new image generator to create stuff like action figures for local business owners and stuff like that. So they have this cool image of themselves as an action figure. That's super popular right now, and you can actually sell that. Okay, so the beauty is you don't need to be an AI expert. You just need to know slightly more than the people you're selling it to, right? All you're doing is providing convenience and know-how. Right, you're saving them time. And basically you can do this for once-off fees, or if there's stuff that they need on a regular basis, then you can charge a monthly retainer. Just having a couple of clients on a retainer every month could equal out to $500 extra every month for you. Now, method number 7, the one I promised at the beginning of this video, has the highest success rate for beginners, but most people totally overlook this. Method number 7 is to host local workshops or classes. This method works because of one simple truth. You don't need to be a world-class expert. You just need to know more than your students do. People in your community are always willing to pay for in-person instruction on topics that you might take for granted. Stuff like how to take good pictures with your smartphone, or how to use Canva to set up a basic Instagram post for your social media. Or maybe you do some cooking stuff, so maybe you could show some fundamentals of baking, right? Or you could do something like gardening basics. The sky is the limit with this. The disconnect that most people miss is that in-person instruction is still super highly valued in our digital world. People will pay for the personal touch and immediate feedback that YouTube and tutorials and courses and stuff like that can never provide. So just imagine you set up a little workshop where you're going to have 10 or 15 people at $20 each coming in to your one-day workshop. That could be up to $300 right there. And I'll tell you what, you might be thinking, oh, how do I rent out a room and I'm going to lose all this money on it? And here's the thing, it's easy to rent out a room for this kind of thing free. You can do it at your local library. That I've found is the best place to do it. All right. So I've done it. It works good. People always know what's happening at their libraries. They know where the library is, and it doesn't cost you anything. But if teaching is not your thing, then method number 8 lets you leverage practical skills instead. Method number 8 is to offer TaskRabbit or handy services to your local community. This opportunity is totally overlooked because it seems too simple. But the average TaskRabbit worker makes $110 per job. And what they're doing is assembling furniture, mounting TVs, doing some electronic setup, helping with moving, all sorts of crazy different stuff. So I recommend you jump on there and just see some of the stuff that people are offering as a service. But you could do 5 jobs a month on TaskRabbit and easily make your $500 right there if you're charging that $100. Don't list yourself as somebody who can do everything. Jack of all trades, master of none. It's better off on TaskRabbit and stuff like that to become known as a specialist in some particular thing. Like you're the IKEA assembly expert or some kind of electronics guru to set up home theater systems. Some TaskRabbit workers exclusively focus in on seasonal needs too, like hanging Christmas lights or setting up Christmas trees just around the holidays just to make some extra money. So they make thousands in just a few weeks and then they can basically relax for a couple of months on that income. But what if you prefer working from home? Well, method number 9 might be perfect for you. And method number 9 is to monetize a niche newsletter. Easier than ever with AI. What I would recommend is not only niching down, like we've talked about in a few different times today in this video, but to also focus on some place that already has a built-in audience, like Substack. So instead of doing like a fitness newsletter, you create one that's all about strength training for busy parents over 40. And you could even add on to that, like with kettlebells or something like that. So I do recommend Substack. There's already a built-in audience there. But they make it easier than ever to set up your own newsletter. They handle all the delivery and all the tech stuff for you. All you do is post your newsletter. The most successful newsletters solve specific problems. So think about problem solution and giving people something that they can take away, actionable stuff that they can take away and use in their lives to improve it in some way. That always works well for newsletters. And I bet you already have knowledge in some area that you could do this in. So think about doing that newsletter and having AI help you write it. Now, you can also monetize these newsletter subscribers in different ways. So you don't have to just charge for subscriptions to the newsletter to get to your $500 a month goal. You can also sell affiliate products. You could offer your own course or like one-to-one meetings for a special fee. So that can help you get to $500 or more every month just from the newsletter. And finally, for the easiest method, this requires absolutely no skills. We have method number 10. And method number 10 is to rent out stuff that you already own. All right, so we talked about renting out some of your space, like your room or your driveway or your garage, but look around your home. You probably also own things that sit unused all the time. Stuff like power tools, camping gear, camera equipment. Maybe you have some party supplies for kids or that kind of thing. Maybe you have a car, an RV, or a boat. Same thing, you can rent those things out. Apps like Fat Llama or Turo make this process secure and simple. So you can rent out your pressure washer for $30 a day. And if you've got some camera gear, well, you can rent that out for $50 a day. Or party supplies, hey, you can rent that out for birthday parties and make a nice little income from that stuff on the weekends or whenever. And the beauty of this method is that there's no like new skills required. You don't have to get on your computer and log into ChatGPT or anything like that. You're just monetizing assets you already own. All right, so there you have it. 10 legitimate ways to add $500 to your monthly income without a whole lot of specialized skills or being a tech guru or whatever. There's no startup costs in a lot of these and minimal startup costs in the others. So you can really get started with this right away today. And the common thread is that each method leverages either information gaps, convenience, or learning technology and basically taking advantage of that to help others who haven't had a chance to learn it and use it yet. None of these require you to become an entrepreneur or build any kind of complex business. And so that's kind of cool. All right. Which one are you going to try first? Let me know down in the comments. And remember, an extra $500 every month equals out to $6,000 a year, which is enough for a vacation. It's enough to really boost your emergency fund, pay down some debt, maybe make your car payment, all kinds of good stuff, right? So don't overthink it. Pick one of these methods that matches your situation, your personality, and start this week. Your future self will thank you. Listen, if you like this, please give it a like, and if you're not a subscriber to my channel, I'd love to have you on board. Hit the subscribe button and the bell if you want notifications every time I publish a new video. I've got some other videos coming up on the screen right now. Check those out. I'm here to help. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and again, let me know what kind of side hustle you're going to be starting. All right, thanks for joining me.